All right, welcome back to Hard Cut. Tonight we discuss Violent Night, aka Die Hard 1, aka
Die Hard 2,
aka Home Alone, aka a little Gremlins mixed in there.
Little Gremlins sprinkled in.
A little bit.
Yeah. I am glad though that Die Hard 2 is finally getting some love.
Me too.
Still a decent flick.
Every so often, Rennie Harlan drops some gold on us.
What's the matter? You don't like the adventures of Ford Fairlane?
Hey, the boys in the garage brought my baby back.
What's your problem? Do you not like Cutthroat Island?
I'll take Ford Fairlane. That's fine.
It's actually not that bad.
No, it's not. But we're not going to discuss Cutthroat Island. We're going to discuss Violent Night. So the plot of this movie is...
It's Die Hard with Santa Claus.
It's Die Hard with Santa Claus. A guy gets himself involved in some shenanigans when some terrorists, aka thieves, crash a Christmas party to try and steal lots of money, and he's a poison pill running around the house.
Am I right?
And then they got to try and stop him, and he's picking them off one at a time. It's essentially Die Hard.
Yes.
But with Santa Claus.
Yes.
I liked it. It wasn't amazing, but the things that made it really good were obviously David Harbour's character, Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
The violence was over the top. The pacing, it was never really boring.
Yeah.
So it had that going for it. It also had some writing issues, character issues. What did you think of it?
I think my biggest gripe with it, you can just hear the pitch meeting. What if Santa Claus, who's like this drunk guy who curses, ha 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 ha, is put in this like situation and it's like super violent and it's just going against the Christmas family movie
We
grain.
upend it.
Yeah,
and then
but
we
it's
throw
like,
in as many Die Hard references as we can fit.
The thing is though, is we've seen this shit before.
Yes, we
You've
have.
got Bad Santa with Billy Bob Thornton, which is hilarious.
That's a great movie.
Yes.
I beat the shit out of some kids today.
Santa Claus doing bad things, ha ha ha. And then just, what was it, last year or the year before, you had that Mel Gibson Fat Man movie come out?
Fat Man, right. I didn't see that.
I haven't seen it either, but...
It looked like, oh yes, Santa Claus, somebody messes with him and now he goes on a killing spree.
Yeah,
And
it's a
he was
violent
wrong.
Santa Claus
Violent
movie.
Santa
So the
Claus.
shit's been
not the
done
first
before.
Time, not the first time.
Even though I haven't seen that movie, I'm still like, dude, you guys, this is like so unoriginal.
Yeah. Even when that came out, I was like, I feel like I've seen this before.
Same.
Yeah. And then we get this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's more of the same, but it's fun. It had its cringy moments, and then it had its your giddy moments where he's, sharpening a candy cane and then stabbing people with it, that kind of fun.
Yeah, I like the death where he stabbed the
ornament into the guy's
star into the guy's eye,
yes.
and then he turns on, he plugs it in, and then
yes.
That was kind of cool.
So his character is kind of a very jaded Santa Claus. He's been doing this for 1,100 years or some shit. Like, they kind of touch on his backstory a little bit, but they don't really explain how he became Santa Claus. He used to be a Viking or some shit, and which I kind of liked. They don't explain how he becomes Santa Claus. He's just been doing it for a long time, and over the years he's seen the kids get more disillusioned to the Christmas spirit. Now all they want is cash and video games. Cash and video games. That's all he gets on his list. And he's kind of he's over it. So he's at a bar, he's just chugging beers, and that's where we meet this character.
See,
He's just getting hammered, flying around, delivering presents.
I thought that was annoying. Why can't you like have the same premise, the same setup, but Santa's actually happy?
Sure, you could do that too. It would have been actually a better movie.
That's what
in
I'm
the sense
saying.
Of him being jolly and killing people.
It's just the
would have been funny.
jaded Santa. It's just played out.
Yeah.
Have him be like Jolly Saint Nick and in the same situation, and that would have been hilarious. Like him having to like turn violent.
Yes.
You know, to see like.
But he's still got a smile on his face.
Yeah.
That would have been actually terrifying.
And then you actually,
you would have been scared of him.
And then you see him sort of turn into a badass as it goes on, and
Right.
he starts to get more serious
he goes
as it goes
from,
on.
good to bad. Whereas
that's
in
just
this, he's kind of like, they make it seem like he was bad in the past, and then he became good, and now he's got to tap into his inner badness again.
Oh.
Call on his Thor hammer to start crushing skulls. Oh, that's what it's called, the Skull Crusher, right? So there's that. But he actually, David Harbour plays the character really well.
Oh, he's great.
He's fantastic in the role. Like
Yeah.
he is the best part of the movie.
Hands down.
How he plays it, his dialogue, it's all good.
You know what else is the best part of the movie? Beverly D'Angelo's face.
Oh my God, Beverly D'Angelo and her voice, where it sounds like she just eats cigarettes now, and that's
What happened?
she's a little rough.
She's kind of beat.
Yeah, she needs to hang it up. I think it's time for her to go.
Yeah.
I still liked her character.
She was great.
Yeah, which brings us to the family.
Yeah, so these terrorists take this family hostage, but you don't give a shit because all the family's a piece of shit.
They're all pieces
Every
of
single
shit.
one, yeah.
They're all white, rich, privileged pieces of shit. So you don't care about them, except there's the one son of the family who's kind of is he the black sheep of the family? would
He's
you
the
say?
black sheep.
Yeah, he's the one who's like, I don't want anything to do with your money and your power. So he's kind of on the outs.
Right.
With his mother, and then you got his sister there, and then her actor boyfriend, their kid who's a douchebag, who had like a sexual harassment charge against him. Just like
course.
they make every character scummy in some way.
Right.
And then now all these people are hostages, and it's like, well, why do I care about them if they're scummy?
Right.
Like, the only people you're supposed to care about is the estranged son and his family.
The son is married to the flawless, morally superior black chick.
Correct.
And they've got
And they
this
have adorable
mixed race child.
Yes. And she's very sweet.
She's very, she's kind of a shitty actress.
Shitty actress, but you know, she's kind of. It was kind of a role where they probably wanted her to play it up and really lean into like
They hired a cute kid.
A cute kid,
Yeah.
right? It's. They were kind of leaning into like the Home Alone type
Yeah.
kid a little bit.
Macaulay Culkin was shitty. even
Yeah,
back
yeah,
then, but the role's great.
You kind of get that overacting
Yeah.
vibe because it's a kid. It's like it's lighthearted. It's fun. So you kind of like lean into that stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what she was, and that was fine.
Yeah.
She was okay. Whatever. She's the kid. You're always gonna have a kid, and these movies pop up, and they're gonna have a bigger effect on the protagonist than anyone else.
I treat kid actors equally to
Yeah, they should
adult
be.
actors.
Yeah, if you suck, you're out.
I hold them to the same
You
standards.
should. Yeah, that's how they learn.
Yeah. So yeah, in the very beginning, we're introduced to the cucked, goofy white dad who's estranged from his multiracial family.
He is such a beta. That dude. He's sweet with his kid, but outside of that, he has zero balls.
None.
This guy, none, nowhere to be found. Him and his wife, like they have some weird relationship. They don't really get into like what's going on, like they're split up or they're not, or.
Oh, but you get it though. He's just a little bitch.
Yeah, he's a
and
bitch.
She's tired of that.
Of course. She's like, be a fucking man. And he's not. So then they spend Christmas with his family, and it's of course this big compound, big
Mansion.
rich mansion
Yeah.
place. They have private caterers for their party, Christmas Eve, lots of fun. And then you find out, oh no, they're all actually the terrorists who somehow got past these security checks, and now they're all just killing the actual security in the house. They take over the party, and in comes our antagonist, Johnny Legs.
That's what I want for Christmas.
Johnny Legs.
Luigi himself.
Yes, Luigi is the villain.
And he's rough.
That was conflicting for everybody. It was a.
I normally like John Leguizamo, and I feel like
I don't mind him, but
I feel like he
I feel like he
does.
phoned this one in pretty hard.
There's that shit movie Spawn, and that movie's terrible.
Oh, he's good in that.
He's good, and he's the villain in that, and he's good.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of fun playing that character.
Yes.
This movie, he's not having fun at all. He is bored off his ass.
Yeah.
And this is a paycheck movie.
Well, for tonight, I'm Mr. Scrooge now. What is it that you want exactly, Santa?
Definitely.
And you could see it on his face.
Yeah, and his like every one of his lines was just like somehow Christmas themed. He called himself Mr. Scrooge. All the terrorists had like Christmas names, and they're all like, "Whoa, why do we have to be stupid names?" And
Of course, the backstory as to why he's a piece of shit person is
great.
Christmas.
is his
yeah.
Gremlins backstory,
He's got the Gremlins backstory, the Phoebe Cates Gremlins backstory.
and that of course taints Christmas for him forever. So now he just hates Christmas, and it's like, well,
That's convenient.
It wasn't Christmas's fault. It was your fault for breaking into his house, dickhead. So he comes in, and their goal is to steal $300 million that is in a vault in the basement. And I'm thinking like, okay, we're gonna get that scene where we get Ode to Joy playing.
I was
when the
waiting
safe
for Ode to Joy to
I was
happen.
waiting for
Yeah.
it. Didn't happen.
Merry Christmas.
No, do not.
But you start getting all these like references to like Die Hard movies, like Santa's talking to the little girl on the walkie-talkie, and they're like talking through, and she's hiding, and
he's opening up to her like how he opened up to
just like he
Reginald
opened
Val
up.
Johnson.
He opened up to Al Powell
Yeah.
about his relationship with his wife, and he's even talking about like Mrs. Kringle with this little girl. It's like there are a lot of similarities, and those are fun.
I mean, it's,
But you can't rely on them
Of course
to
not.
be your own movie. Like at the end of the day, you can't just be a movie of references to other movies.
Right.
You can't stand alone.
right.
You have to be able to stand alone with your own things. And this movie has a few things, but not enough to make it like a classic.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, what we were saying earlier about Die Hard 2, they start with the Die Hard references, obviously, and it's like, okay.
get it.
But then they started the Die Hard 2 ones, and no one really referenced. I think this is probably the first movie to ever reference Die Hard 2.
And to this degree.
That's what I'm
anyway.
saying. The bad guys show up, or the paramilitary guys, whatever, show up. The security
the
security guys show
The
up.
Kill Squad.
The Kill Squad shows up on the snowmobiles, and I was
Yeah.
like, Die Hard 2.
Right. And it's like, but you think they're good guys at first.
Like Die Hard 2.
Like Die Hard 2. And then they show up, and one of the hostages, the douchebag actor guy, escapes, just leaves his family there. Oh, good piece of shit. And then they reveal like that they're actually part of the whole plan, and they're bad guys, just like Die Hard 2. And they kill the hostage, and it's like, well, I didn't care about him anyway because he was a piece of shit. So
Yeah, you have an icicle kill. Die Hard 2.
Die Hard 2. There were a couple icicle kills in this one, actually. Well, if you count the guy falling out the window and landing on the giant
Oh,
icicle.
being impaled? Yeah.
Impaled by the icicle. But back to drunk Santa, who's just hopping around delivering presents all night, just drinking people's booze. He ends up in this house when the terrorists take over. Convenient. So now he's kind of like trapped there. Because whatever magic he uses, his little nose magic to go up the chimney, it's like not working for some
Why
reason.
did that?
I don't
Did
know.
they set that up? It just wasn't.
That moment, it just wasn't working for some reason.
Was he like too drunk or something? And so
They don't explain it. Like, okay, whatever.
I thought I missed something.
Yeah, he did it multiple times. And the dude was drinking the whole time. And then all of a sudden now he's like, he couldn't do it for some reason. I don't know if they were clear about that. Maybe we missed something. I don't know.
Whatever.
So
Stupid.
he's in the house now, and they're sweeping the house trying to find any family members, and one of the terrorists comes across him. And of course, they have like a one-on-one. And the one-on-one fights were pretty solid because
Yeah.
he's getting his ass beat a little bit, but he's throwing down too.
Mm-hmm.
And he kills that first terrorist, goes out the window with him. And then now he's just like, he spends like the next 30 minutes of the movie kind of just like running around the house, hiding, fighting terrorists one-on-one. And then he has that great fight scene with the pool table.
Yes.
And then he stabs the guy with the
That's where he stabs the guy with the
ornament.
star.
That was great. That was a good action scene, and it was funny. And then from there, it's like that's when he starts opening up about his life on the walkie-talkie, and you start learning about his history, about how he used to be like a Viking or something, and he was just like not evil, but like he was just a violent Viking.
Megalomaniac.
Yeah, from like
Whatever.
1,200 years ago or something. That was your life back then. You're just raiding villages and killing people with your giant hammer.
So yeah, that happens. Die Hard 2 references come in, and then the Home Alone reference comes in.
Oh, and then we get lots of Home Alone references.
Yeah, so and they even mentioned that in the film. The girl,
Yeah, she
the
had just
little
watched
girl
it.
just watched Home Alone. Oh,
Yeah.
that's convenient. So now she knows to set up traps for these
Right, and that was
robbers that come
a
into the
great
house.
scene because you get to see what those types of traps would do in reality.
Yeah, that was cool. It's rated R, so you're able to show
Yeah.
the consequences of Kevin McAllister's traps. What would actually happen?
The
how
guy
injured
climbs up
you'd
the
get.
ladder and the nail goes through his mouth.
That was probably the greatest act of violence in the whole thing.
Yes.
The whole audience was like,
Oh, and then he finally gets off of it and he falls and he lands on a bed of nails.
Yeah.
And then the bowling balls start coming down and like he just gets wrecked.
Yeah.
And it's like, yes, This is how the wet bandits should have looked at the end of the first Home Alone.
Right.
Like just brutalized and dead.
That was very funny.
That was a good moment.
Yeah.
How she set all that up in such a short time doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It was fun. And then you get like all the goofy music going on too. It was very Home Alone type music.
There was like some Home Alone in there, and there was also some sprinkle of Kamen's Die Hard score a little bit in there. Sometimes little moments in there.
Little bit. And I appreciated that.
But it's like a combination of Michael Kamen, John Williams' Home Alone, and then like almost like Hallmark sort of sappy.
There were some moments where I think it went a little too far.
Yes.
With the sappy music, and I was like, dial it back.
Yeah.
Like, this is an action movie. Like, bring it back 2% here. But other than that, like, the music, it kind of fit.
Yeah.
It kind of bounced around between, is it Die Hard or is it Home Alone?
Yeah.
They're trying to merge the two together.
Yeah.
As the movie goes on, and they're starting to figure out, like, okay, wait, the money's actually not in the vault. It's been moved somewhere else. Who's got it? John Leguizamo starts losing his mind. Like, he's going to start killing people, and that's when they start torturing the husband. In that scene where they're gonna put his nuts in the giant nutcracker, which was kind of funny. But his reaction, like, first of all the hostages were just kind of chill. Like, nobody was really like freaking out. Everyone was kind of like, oh, there's a bunch of men with guns on us right now. When can we go? Like, that was the kind of attitude. So like, the stakes just didn't feel as high.
It's a combination of that and the fact that they're all pieces of shit.
Right.
So you don't care what happens to them.
Right. And then as they're about to like put the dad's nuts in the giant nutcracker, like, it was a little girl that had to step up and like save him. Like, he was so useless. He was so pointless. Like, his wife and his daughter had to step up in every regard.
Yeah.
And every moment of the film where something was on the line, they were the ones that came through. He literally did nothing.
He was so low T, it was not even funny.
Yeah. And then you find out that, oh, he was the one that actually took all the money out of the vault, and he was going to take it from his mother because, I don't know, why the hell he was like, you don't deserve it, but I'm going to take it from my family. And then he was going to run away with his wife and kid. And you find out that he hid it outside in like a manger or something. And then once John Leguizamo knows where it is, he's like, okay, now we're going to go get the money, and then we're just going to kill everybody. And that's when they have to start, like, the hostages have to start fighting. And then we learn who's useful and who's not useful.
I wonder who's useful.
Right? Yeah.
So of course it's the strong, independent,
yes, the strong, flawless, morally superior wife.
Yeah, and she's even had
she knows how to shoot. She's got gun training.
Yeah.
So she starts shooting bad guys. Her and her husband get into a tussle with one of the terrorists. He gets like pushed into the snow and he's unconscious. And then she has to kill him with an icicle. Like, he's useless. He's totally useless.
Oh my God! Do you remember? It was after they interrogated the cocked husband. And they broke his finger with the nutcracker before they were gonna do his dick. And like, it cuts to the next scene, and he's like on the couch, cowering with a fucking pillow.
Yeah. And they're like, they go to the girl like, oh, take his dick out, put it in the nutcracker. She's like, I'm not touching his dick. And that one dude's like, I'll do it. Remember that? The elf?
Yeah, I remember. The guy who was supposed to be like, they set him up as this like weird sociopath. And then at the end, he like hesitates to kill them, and that's why they end up killing him.
He's just standing there like, who do I kill first? They're arguing. Shut up. Just fucking spray them. Like, what are you doing? You're a fucking sociopath.
They set him up as the kind of character that would just...
You think Carl and Die Hard would have waited and been like, everybody stop fighting. Look at me so I can decide who to kill first. No. That was stupid. So you have your unhinged John Leguizamo, who just hates Christmas. And once he learns that he actually is Santa Claus, he's like, oh man, now I have to kill this guy. Because taking him out will like...
It'll end Christmas Day forever.
It'll end Christmas Day forever.
Because he hates
Christmas.
And
then he hates Christmas. He thinks this will like stop Christmas forever, which leads to his big line at the end when he says, Christmas dies tonight. And we looked at each other in the movie like, not a winning formula. Not a winning strategy for your movie, having people running around screaming, fill in the blank dies tonight.
Yeah, we
Don't
get
do it.
flashbacks to another
Don't do
fantastic
it.
film.
Don't do it.
Evil dies tonight! Evil dies tonight!
It took us so out of the movie at that moment. Not like this was like a very deep film to follow, but that was hilarious.
Dude, that had to have been a nod.
That
had to have been a little jab
it had
at
to,
Halloween Kills.
It had to.
There's no way it wasn't.
Right, and I kind of appreciated it because it was only said once, so it had to have been just a little jab.
It was
I don't
so
know why
stupid.
they decided that we're gonna just have a jab at Halloween Kills in this moment. Like, it was just weird and out of place, but I appreciated it.
Christmas dies tonight.
Christmas dies tonight.
I wouldn't have been mad if they had Michael Thomas Ian Hall, whatever the hell his name is, come in randomly, says it real quick.
Now
Christmas dies tonight.
Now I can't think of his name because you just butchered it. Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall.
Anthony Michael Hall should have been one of the terrorists.
Yes.
He could have had that line.
Or someone else could have said it, and then you could have cut to a close-up of him going,
Yeah, that would have been funny.
dude,
Christmas
missed
dies
opportunity.
tonight. Missed opportunity. Okay, so after Johnny Legs, Luigi has his Christmas dies tonight line, Santa magically gets his nose candy magic back,
Somehow he can do it again.
and he
It's fine.
grabs onto the Guizziamo, shoots up that chimney, and just rips him to pieces, which was pretty hilarious.
It was a cool death.
And then he's up there on top of the chimney, and then that's when good old Commander Thorpe shows up,
Right.
puts 5 slugs in his chest, essentially kills him. And a little girl comes over, Beta Cuck Dad comes over, Flawless Mom comes over, and they're like, "Oh no, he's dying. He's cold. We got to keep him warm. We're outside in the snow. Look, we got bags of money. Let's just light this money on fire. That will help him." And so the dad, in the first act in this film where he's like trying to be proactive and do something, is utterly useless. He's burning cash like 10 feet away from Santa.
Now they're trying to give him some use, and all he can do is burn cash.
Right, burn that evil oil money.
10 feet away from.
Right, that
from
oil
Santa.
agenda money.
Oh, yeah.
And the sister is like, "No, you're burning $500,000. What are you doing?"
Like he's already not going to make it.
He's already not going to make it, and she actually had a point. Like, he's got 5 bullets in his chest, and you're lighting a money fire 6 feet away from him to keep him warm. That's not going to save him, and it doesn't. It's very stupid, and he dies. And then, of course, they have their little Christmas cheer moment that brings him back, and it's like, okay, you got to do that because it's a Christmas movie. Sure.
It was in line with like cheesy Christmas movies.
You know what also would have been in line is if he actually died and went to Valhalla. In line with his whole Norse backstory would have been cool. And then the Christmas Santa magic would have passed to someone else.
See,
and who's the most righteous person? It would have went to the Flawless Mom, and then it should have ended where she was the new Santa.
See, there
What
was
do you think?
there was some bad Santa in there. There was some Fat Man in there. There was like all these movies that we were talking about in there. I was also worried that they were going to drag the Santa Claus in there, where it gets passed on to someone. I thought it might.
They
I thought
could have
it might have
gone
been
that
the,
way. They
I
could
thought
have
it might
gone
have been
that
the
way.
dad. Like he'd have like become uncucked at the end, and then like it would have gone to him. And then he'd have been the next Santa Claus. But now that you're saying it, it would have made sense in.
They wouldn't have given it to him.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. It would make sense in modern day that it would go to the morally superior.
If this was made at the
mom,
time
black
of
mom.
the original the Santa Claus,
Yeah.
it would have gone to the husband.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah,
But since
he's
he's
just way too cucked.
yes,
Yeah, no. So overall, it was fun. Laughed a bit. Some good action. Some good violence.
some really good violence.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. What would you rate it out of 10?
I think I'll give this one a 6.5.
Yeah, I think we're simpatico on this one.
One of these
Six-
days, man, we're
6.5.
gonna disagree.
I can't wait till we
Yeah.
get to the movie where you're like, it was a 9, and I'm like, it was a 2, and then we can duke that out. Yeah, 6.5. That's where I was.
Yeah,
Because, I don't really feel like I need to watch it again because the best parts of it were parts that were from other movies.
yeah. I mean, this is not going to hit my Christmas rotation. If I feel like watching a movie about a terrible Santa, I will watch Bad Santa.
Bad Santa. And if I want to watch an action movie that takes place on Christmas,
You're gonna watch Die Hard.
I'm gonna watch Die Hard.
They actually felt like this was gonna replace Die Hard. No.
If you want to make a little fun homage to Die Hard 2, great. That's what this was. To stand alone as its own classic, no. It was fun, but I don't feel the need to revisit.
It's not gonna be a classic.
No.
It wants to be. It's not going to be though.
No.
It's just a entertaining little waste of 90 minutes, basically.
I think it was 2 hours.
Whatever. Well, of course, nothing can be 90 minutes nowadays. Everything's
Yeah.
fucking 2 hours.
Now, Rainbow Side,
What would you give it?
I'd probably give it a 2, actually. And it wasn't because of anything overt. It was kind of just the entire Lightstone family, what they represented, and then of course the flawless wife coming in.
Yeah.
Like, and the things she was able to do that just made her perfect and morally superior, like just little moments. And then, yeah, like the whole family, all of them were just rich, entitled, privileged, white pieces of shit. And then the people who weren't white were just perfect.
Right.
It didn't ruin the movie. It was just annoying that those little moments kept happening here and there.
Yeah.
But overall, you know, it was fun.
Yeah.
So,
Beverly D'Angelo being like the matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
She was into politics. I don't think they flat out said what she was, but you can tell that she was like the evil
yeah,
Republican.
she was on the phone with like some senator at some point.
She
but
was the
it's
evil
like,
Republican,
I'd be
though.
fucking shocked if she was a Democrat.
She was not.
No.
She was a Republican.
Yeah.
So, yeah, all of that was annoying. And then just like, of course, they don't question the wife's judgment for marrying that cuck from that shitty white
No,
entitled family.
of course not.
Right. She's just perfect and he was just a total piece of shit.
Right.
So, yeah, that stuff was annoying. And whenever it would show the family shenanigans and then it would show the mom and she was just like above all of it, you know what I mean?
All of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. Like, that stuff was just annoying. Was it as overtly political as other things that we've watched? No, but it's still there. I also give it a 2 on the
Right.
rainbow scale.
All right.
I don't know if I'd recommend like going to see it though. Like it's more like, well, once it hits Netflix or if it's Amazon.
Yeah, I don't think you need
watch
to
it there.
hit the theater to see it.
No.
It comes out streaming. That's fine.
Yeah.
In the meantime, just throw on Die Hard 2 especially. That'll prep you for this film. All right. Well, on to the next one.